Hey everybody, welcome to join in another episode of Box Seats. I am your host, Frank Holder. This is the show where we talk to comedians about sports. So let me bring in my man T. T, how you doing today, sir?
I'm flabbergasted, brother, flabbergasted that the heat is 100 degrees.
It's 100 degrees.
Man,
Wow.
it's 96, man.
Woo! I can only imagine.
All week, though, it's going to be like this.
Yeah, I know it's gonna be like that up here too. My man Fig is in the building too. What's up, Fig? How you doing?
He's right. That's why I got my smoothie.
Interesting.
Smoothie.
Keep it cool, baby. Keep it cool.
All right, so we always talk about while we wait for other guys to jump in. We always talk about obviously interesting topics, and as I wait for my thing in here it is. So first up, man, I don't know if you guys got a chance to see this. T, I'm gonna start with you. In the track and field world championships, there happened to be something really strange. There, track and field world championship is where people qualify to be able to get into the Olympics for certain countries and everything else. There was a cameraman who was on the field and impeded some people from the track and field that they were cutting around and everything else. And some people were upset because, every second, in track and field, every second, every tenth of a second counts. So a couple of people got upset because it took them off a tenth of a second. Actually, about a good 8 of them took them off a tenth of a second of the time they were making. So people were saying that they wanted to start the race again. T, what's your thought about this, about a cameraman being on the field? And what do you think that they should do, the world championship leaders and everything? What do you think they should do if a cameraman or anything incident happens like this on the field? What's your thoughts?
Now, normally I would say, who cares? It's a tenth of a second. But track is the one thing that they record tenths of a second.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like some things go to the second. Like when you look at the clock wind down and football and basketball, without that last effort shot, they really don't play the tenths of a second. Track always records you at a tenth of a second. They always say he was a 10-point, whatever. They always go precise like that. So because it's critiqued that way and counted that way, they have a valid argument. You know what I mean?
Right.
Technology right now, man, back in the day, you had to have these camera dudes on the field to get the good shot. We don't live in that time no more. You watch a football game and you watch that camera slide across that wire that's damn near invisible, but you get all those shots, all those angles, all those replays you need. You don't need nobody on the field. I mean, that, unless somebody hiring a personal photographer to make their sizzle reel, I don't think you need it.
Yeah, I agree with that one. But Fig, a tenth of a second could mean some money because you come in a tenth of a second faster, you might get a bigger sponsorship deal. I mean, it goes all the way down. If you ask me, what's your take?
Tenth of a second can determine whether you break the track record or you can break a world record. Is that much? It really matters, and it can determine whether you actually qualified or you didn't qualify, because they have different heats. Yep. They have number 1, number 2, number 3. And just because you don't come in first, second, or third doesn't mean that you don't make the team. After a certain time, they take the top 3. And then after that, they start looking at the times that you ran to see if you qualify to be on the team or you qualify to move on to the next round. Time in track is extremely important, and that, like Talent said, to have a cameraman out there impeding the actual race is crazy. Cameramen are supposed to be invisible. They're not supposed to. You're not supposed to see them. They're not supposed to be there. They're supposed to be the invisible eye that captures everything. And then they, like Talent said, they got that technology. They got a camera that runs along the track, so you can see the runners in real time. They got some on the wire, and they can zoom in. Right. So you don't need a cameraman in a position to impede the athletes.
All right, so is right. He's supposed to be invisible. The only time you're supposed to see a cameraman when it's time to pay him and get your negatives.
All right, so T, we go on to the next story, man. I don't know if you heard about this one, but Juan Soto, who won the home run derby last night and everything else, I found out, for those baseball lovers out there, He turned down a 15-year, $440 million offer from the Nationals, and it was the biggest contract offer ever for baseball. Again, 15 years, $440 million from the Washington Nationals. Meanwhile, last night, like I said, he won the home run derby. So when you hear a player like that turns down a major deal, what's the thought that goes through your head, T?
It's something. He's probably got some underlying health issues. He's like, I ain't gonna be here 15 years. It only sounds good if you could give him 15 years, right? Because it's over 15 years. We don't see the thing about these contracts. I love how it reminds me of being in radio. They always say there's always a spin you can put on things. And I think they do that when they announce these contracts to make them sound real bigger than they are. Yeah, it's $400 million, but it's 15 years. So if there's anything like the other sports, you could set it up where I'm giving you burn me out for 13, 14 years, and my bubble year is on year 15, but I done burnt out in year 12, so I got to see maybe 200 or something of the four. Like, so the way they put this out here, put the spin on it is one thing, but I mean, anybody that can walk away from numbers that astronomical, clearly either there's one or two things when that happens. One, there's something wrong with the fine print, or B, the person usually thinks, even though it's an astronomical number, that they can get more.
You know what, T? I'm surprised you didn't say because he didn't want to play for Washington. You know what I mean? Like
Shut up, Frank!
I didn't want to play for Washington. Maybe that.
Yeah, but he better get more.
Stop taking my takes.
Go ahead. What you think?
That's exactly what I was going to say. I'm like, everybody tried to get out of Washington except for the politicians and Bradley Beal, because he's being paid as much as a politician. Matter of fact, anybody athlete that stays in Washington probably has aspirations of being in politics after they retire.
Yeah, but
they got good connections.
But Bradley Beal took the big money. Why doesn't Juan Soto take the big money? Like, because he ain't getting that kind of money.
Bradley Beal has connections. The NBA has connections with Congress and senators and stuff like that. And Bradley Beal is got aspirations of doing something. He's a good looking dude. Pause. And he's got a lot of money, and he's rubbing elbows with these big wigs that make decisions that say the yes, the no. Yes, you can have a baby. You can't have a baby. You can have abortion. You can't have an abortion. You can live over here. Bradley Beal is in with those people. And when he retires, see if Bradley Beal don't be up in Washington with a tie and suit on, getting a Congressional Medal of Honor or something crazy like that. Bradley Beal got aspirations of doing something different.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that one, because honestly, that's a lot of money to turn down. You know what I mean?
Well, keep in mind, Frank, it only took 10 minutes before Fig to compliment another man on his sexiness and handsomeness. 10 minutes in, he said, handsome guy. Why did Bradley Beal take the money? He handsome.
All right, so the next thing, bro. I don't know if you guys heard this one either, but Don Stanley got mad. Don Stanley, famous basketball player, also coach and everything else. She got really upset at the ESPN and the ESPY because Aaliyah Boston got nominated for an ESPY and did not get invited to the ESPY. She's the only athlete in all the categories right now who did not get invited, even though she was nominated for ESPY. She's the unanimous National Player of the Year in 22. She led the Gamecocks to the national championship. She earned the Honda College Cup Woman Athlete of the Year, and they're not inviting her to the ESPYs. And by the way, the ESPYs is tomorrow night. What's your take on when you hear about that? Like, I can't even figure out why the ESPYs didn't do that. But T, talk to me. What you think?
I don't know, man. I want to be a fly on that wall. I want to know what you did to piss the powers that be off, that with all these accolades, all this recognition, you still this is see, I'm a sci-fi watching dude. This is almost like the meeting after Will Smith smacked Chris Rock afterwards. Yeah, we know you nominated for the best actor, but you are not invited because we've seen the future. So that's what this put me in the mind of, because what else could it be? Like, this is unprecedented. to have somebody up for these accolades. You know they're up for these accolades. You're nominated. They're on the ballot and everything. However, you're not invited.
Right.
I don't know what that message sends. Like, does that send, Frank? That could be a couple of things. That could be, well, we're not inviting you because, yeah, we see the nomination, but you ain't winning anyway. Or even worse, we don't want you here at all.
Yeah, I find that hard to understand.
In the game, in the period, like we don't want you here. So don't even come because we about to erase the whole thing. So I want to be the fly on the wall. I want to know what is really going on because this is a bigger thing than we know about.
Yeah. You're watching a show called Box Seats where we talk about sports with comedians. Fig, talk to me. Why do you think she's the only person out of all the categories who did not get invited to the ESPYs, and she is the unanimous college player of the year?
Frank, I'm gonna tell you exactly what it is. I heard this from the grapevine. It's because of the Me Too era, and her team is the Gamecocks, and nobody want no Gamecocks at the ESPYs. That's what the problem is. You can't have nobody representing the Gamecocks at the ESPYs, and that's the big problem. And that's why she didn't get invited. Now, had she been with the Sparks or something like that, or the Liberty, you know what I mean? If she'd been with another team, she'd have been invited. But because her team and the owner of that team came up with the name, you could come up with a better name than the Gamecocks in the Me Too era. That's absolutely ridiculous. You can't be here. Change the name of the team and we'll invite you.
All right, T, let's keep the questions going. Oh, my man Rodney Perry has joined the show. RP, what's going on? How you doing, sir?
I was just checking the mail. I just got my ESPY ticket.
You got the
I got mine. You know what I'm saying?
You got yours.
Yeah.
Yeah. She didn't get hers. All right, we'll talk about that in a second. Right? All right. So, also news came like yesterday that Deshaun Watson's attorneys and everything else had decided that they are going to, along with the NFLPA, if Deshaun Watson gets a year, they are going to sue the NFL for that year. They're going to sue and try to get, blow back for him not to get a year. Smart move. What you think, T?
Yeah, that's just called leverage. They setting the tone right now before the ball drops, before the shoes drop. You know what? Let's put a little tone out there. Let's put a little leverage tone out there. Well, I know one thing. That's that thing when you threaten somebody, but you ain't looking at them. You're looking over here. I wish somebody would throw something over here. They ain't even said that to you. You just set the tone. I wish somebody would throw something over here and see what I do. Go to the car. Then everybody, the guys just throwing stuff. Don't throw that. So now you're doing that to the NFL. I wish they would suspend them a whole year. I'll sue the whole league. So now they're going to that meeting different. All right, guys, let's really think this out. Do we want to be sued? How long is that going to be? What are the numbers? Blah, blah, blah. Let's crunch these numbers. So they're going to crunch the numbers. All of this back and forth comes back to what myself and I believe one or two of the other guys said. We're looking at 4 or 5 games, man. We're not looking to go past 6 games. The under is 4 and the over is 6. I got the under.
All right. My man Michael Sean has also joined the show. Mike, how you doing, sir?
I'm good. How you guys doing?
All right. Fig, so what do you think that the move is going to be right now with the Deshaun Watson update? What's your thought process on this, bro?
You know, the funny thing is it's probably not just Deshaun Watson that's threatening to sue the NFL. It's probably the Browns also, because I kept saying that the fact that they signed this dude to that astronomical amount of money, they talked to the powers that be, and they figured out what Deshaun Watson was going to get before. They hashed that out. They negotiated. And once they figured out what it was going to be, they said, okay, we good. We're going to sign him to this amount of money. And that's probably why they only put $1 million up for his first year. And then the large amount of the money is for year 2 and thereafter. So they was like, okay, you're going to be suspended for 6 games. But out of that 6 games, you're not going to lose a lot of money because your first year contract is only $1 million. The bulk of your money is going to come in year 2, and that's when you'll start to get paid. And if NFL started, threatening like, yo, we're going to, sit him out for a whole year, they're like, oh, no, We'll sue you if you do that because now you're going against the agreement.
Rodney Perry, what he's saying makes a lot of sense because at the end of the day, they are paying him 1 year for $1 million, and the bulk of the money kicks into maybe the NFL and the NFLPA. Maybe they have some early talk. What's your take on this, Rodney? What you think?
I mean, you don't make a deal with a Deshaun Watson unless you know he's innocent, right? Period. You just don't make the deal. And so they have some pretty powerful people that do these investigations, and they know who you are, what you stand for. I think they've already done the work. They want him to kind of take a brick anyway, and Deshaun Watson is like, no, dog, I'm not taking the brick. It's not this time. Yeah. And so I'm not mad at him. It was an owner that started this whole thing, and he's not going to get his way.
You know what? I think you're absolutely right with that one too, man. Michael, Sean, do you have a different perspective that we ain't seeing on this, man? Especially with the NFLPA sliding up with Deshaun Watson to sign to sue.
The only perspective I have on that is the Cleveland Browns are not going to win a Super Bowl with Deshaun Watson. So why in the hell did you spend $230 million? I'm going to guarantee you right now. They just guaranteed this guy $230-something million, and that did not guarantee you a Super Bowl. Right. So what you've done is brought all this drama to your locker room again, and brought all this drama to your franchise. And I said this before on a different show. You couldn't handle the drama with Baker Mayfield. So what makes you think you're going to be able to handle the drama that comes along with Deshaun Watson? Sometimes you just got to play it safe and be like, look, man, you can't guarantee a Super Bowl. I don't want to get involved in this. And even if they just don't pay him for this year, let's say they just pay him $1 million, it's still a wasted year. It's still another wasted year in Cleveland.
Yeah, I agree with that. So you guys ready for rapid fire? We get ready to come at you with some rapid fire questions. Well, I'm going to mix up the order, ask you guys some questions and just jump right into it and everything else. So first thing I'm going to start with is the Lakers. And I'm going to start with you, Rodney Perry, being that you're the Lakers fan on the board. The Lakers had a talk yesterday between LeBron, Russ, and AD. They huddled up over a phone conversation, and they say they vowing to make it work. Chris Baines of ESPN said that they had this conversation and everything else. So my question to you is, even though they had that conversation, Rodney Perry, do you think it's going to still work? You think this is going to be something that's going to work?
It may have to. The situation with the Lakers is that, you know, because of contracts and a few other things, you really can't break this squad up. If they stay healthy, they still pretty freaking good. Like, they can take this same team as constructed and really make a run if they can stay healthy. And if Westbrook is willing to accept his secondary role. And I don't see why that wouldn't happen going forward.
All right, okay. Talent, let me ask you this. The rumor has it that Kevin Durant wants to stay on the Nets without Kyrie Irving. That's also being reported by Chris Bean Haynes from ESPN. God. He's saying the news is that he because and of course it's coming out now because nobody wants to take him. The Lakers ain't taking him. There's no movement that he's going to Phoenix. There's no movement he's going to Miami. So now the news comes out that he wants to stay in Brooklyn as long as Kyrie's not playing. What's your thought on this, T?
Damn. Damn. He said that. Yeah. Passive aggressive my ass, Mike. He put it out there. No, good. He let you know what the problem is. I'll stay, but this nigga gotta go. Now, mind you, this the Negro he came in with.
Right. That he wanted.
This is the first 48. When you put him in a room, you close that door. Who gun was it, man? I don't know nothing. As soon as you close the door, boom. He got 2 more 9mm under the passenger side of the compartment. He just first 48 his man's in them. Let me tell you something. I like this. You know why I like this? Because these beefs create chips on the shoulders, no matter what counterpart it is. And going forward into a new season, you're going to see it play out. So here's the thing. He said, I'm going to stay as long as you get rid of Kyrie. So to get rid of Kyrie, he stays. Now he's the face of Brooklyn by itself. Wherever Kyrie goes and them two teams play, them the games I ain't missing this shit. Yeah. Them is the joints right there. You know how many times you're going to hear the F-bomb and the S-bomb, sucker.
Yeah. I agree with that.
BS, N-word, and all of that. All of
BS N-word.
All of them timeouts. I bet you one thing, they ain't gonna mic nobody up at them little timeouts. You know
Hell no.
Mike Son, my question for you is Kyrie Irving going to do a buyout because he's not going to go where he wants to go? You think he's going to do a
buyout? He's gonna have to do a buyout. Let me tell you what the reality check happened to Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. They thought they was gonna make things happen because they want to make things happen. And owners said, no, you don't. If these NBA players think they're gonna keep bullying these billionaires, I promise you the next collective bargaining, there's gonna be a strike. Mm-hmm. Because these billionaires ain't having this anymore where people are now signing contracts that are guaranteed. And then you guys decide whatever you feel like it when things don't work out that I need to be out. Kyrie Irving's getting a reality check because nobody wants to deal with the nonsense that goes on off the court. I'm not saying I'm against what he's been for. I'm not saying he was wrong or right. I'm just saying if I'm signing you to a $37 million contract, I need some responsibility from you to tell me you can guarantee me that you're going to play.
Right.
Think what we're saying. We just want to guarantee that you play. We're not even saying play well. We're just saying show up to the game in the uniform.
Exactly. Yep. Exactly. Now, to Mike's point, the collective bargaining agreement is happening this summer. So we'll find out about that real fast and everything else. Fig, question for you. Is Kyrie Irving going to play in Brooklyn this year, regardless?
No. I feel like that woman in Get Out. No. Is it Get Out? Yeah, Get Out. No. They were telling Kyrie at the press conference as soon as Golden State won, the press conference started with the GM of the Brooklyn Nets. He was like, listen, we need somebody that's going to be committed to the team. Somebody is going to be here, and somebody is committed to winning. We need everybody all in, all together. You know they were talking about Kyrie. And it was like, and if you can't do that, then you can't be here. Man, listen. They're going to get off of Pause. They're going to get rid of Kyrie so fast, it's going to make people's heads spin.
Yeah, I agree.
They're going to put him on the train. You see what I'm saying? Ain't going to get no flight, no limousine. They're going to send him across the street. And they're going to put him on the Long Island Railroad and say, bye, Kyrie. Get out of here.
Frank, you know what's funny about Kyrie and Kevin Durant that's so ironic to me is they act like they did work in the playoffs together. They got smashed.
Yeah, 4 games straight.
They got smashed. And then after they get smashed, they got the nerve to start acting like they need demands met.
Yeah.
Like, at least win something. At least go to the Eastern Conference Finals. Like, God damn.
And then throw your weight around. All right, next round is getting ready to go up. Fig, you're going to go first with this next round, Fig. Is the Clippers going to look good this season, or are they going to continue to be overlooked? What you think, Fig?
You know, like Rodney said, since we was talking about LA, and the Clippers are in LA, if the Clippers are healthy, if we get a healthy Kawhi Leonard, we get a healthy Paul George, and the rest of the crew, and then we get a John Wall that could come back to any resemblance of his old self when he was healthy, the Clippers are going to be problems for every team in the NBA because those guys are straight ballers. And Kawhi Leonard and Paul George play both sides of the ball, so they play offense and defense. Mm-hmm. So these guys going to be a problem, man. I wouldn't shut the doors on the Clippers this year.
All right, talent. There is a 7'5" player from France named Victor Wembanyama. He is literally supposed to be the early favorite to be the number 1 pick right now for next year's draft. He's 7'5". I've seen clips of him playing. This boy's balling. People right now are saying because the Spurs traded away DeJounte Murray, they're trying to tank right now because they're trying to plan to get this kid next season. Do you think the Spurs purposely are trying to tank to get this? Do you think Popovich is that type of coach that he would purposely try to tank? Or is he trying to develop some young players? Or what you think? What's your thoughts on?
I don't see him as a tanker, but Popovich is one of the solid coaches of our lifetime and era. So I don't see him as a tanker, but I will say this. Say his last name again. That's a San Antonio. Yeah, that's a name that can only go to San Antonio. Only 2 teams could take that name. And they're both in Texas. San Antonio and Dallas are the only 2 teams that grab them kind of last names. You know what I mean? Like, you know how long it took us to say the whiskey? Because in America, you try to sound out all the letters. Yeah. Look at Dirk last name.
Yeah, I agree with that.
His name, if you sound all the letters, his name is Dirk Czechoslovakia.
Hey,
Rodney Berry. Go ahead, Vic.
No, what I was gonna say is that don't count out Utah, because Utah is getting rid of all their players too, so they might be in a lot. They may be trying to tank to get this dude too.
Thank you for my next question. That was my next question to Rodney Perry. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Rodney Perry, Utah trying to tank to get this guy too, because Utah literally is getting ready to do the exact same thing. Utah, Danny Ainge right now, Danny Ainge is looking at, as we speak right now, Danny Ainge has 6 first-round draft picks for the next 2 years. So people are saying Utah could be trying to get this Fred kid too. So you think Utah's doing that? Trying to tank? What you think?
I mean, they don't have to try hard. I mean, Utah is definitely some formidable guys, but they still not elite as the NBA goes. And you know, if it's not going to be tough to tank when you're Utah, you know what I mean? And they just got to make sure they well. I mean, the Clippers, they got to make sure they well. All these teams are prone to being hurt, man. And you know, I'm beefing with Mike Sean and Fig, because y'all keep talking about Kyrie, and this man made a stance, man. Yeah. He made a stance. Most of the games he missed was due to COVID, and that's what it is. You can't say I support him and criticize him. You can't do that.
Yeah. I mean, you know, people feel the way they feel. Michael Sean, I'm gonna ask you this question: since DeJounte Murray got traded, and Atlanta Hawks now have one of the best backcourts in the league, and people overlooking the Atlanta Hawks and their backcourt, especially in the East, are we not looking at that, or is it something else that we just are seeing and it is what it is? What's your take?
We don't believe Atlanta. Nobody believes Atlanta. Nobody believes Atlanta's going to go to a championship. Nobody believes Atlanta can beat Boston. Nobody believes Atlanta is going to be able to hold it. Now, do I think they improved their team? Absolutely. Now, to Rodney Perry, I'm going to repeat. I can have an opinion. I never critiqued him, said that he was wrong for what he did. I'm going to repeat this for the last time. What I'm saying, if I'm an owner, I can't trust you. I'm not saying he was wrong for holding out. But what I am saying, if I'm an owner who's basing my championship aspirations on you and something can happen, I know you could disappear, then I can't trust you. Right. That's all I'm saying. I'm not critiquing the dude. I'm just speaking the facts of what it is.
Right. All right, so we're going to start this next new round. Let's see, Fig went first last time. T went first up there. So it looked like it's let's start with T. T, you get the first next round. Yeah, I know Roddy Perry would like that.
What logic is that?
Yeah, I don't know. I just tried to put it together. Which team outside of Utah, outside of San Antonio, do you think is going to trade for the 7'5" kid right now? Because people are saying he's supposed to be the biggest deal to become since LeBron. That's literally what I've been reading about this kid.
Yeah, well, it got to be Dallas. Like I said, if it ain't San Antonio, I would go with Dallas on some real. They're good at grabbing those guys. You know, they come from France and the European guys. Those are the teams they grow on. And why wouldn't they want to put somebody like that next to Doncic? You know what I mean? So I see that. You know what I mean? I can see that right there as well as I can see it in San Antonio.
Okay. All right. Rodney Perry, what are the Sixers going to do this year? Are they going to add another big addition to their roster, or do you think the Sixers are going to go into the season as they are currently constructed?
You know, to be honest, whatever they do, they're going to fail again. I mean, let's keep it 1,000. You know, they feel a decent team every year. They're elite, and they can't get it done. The Sixers can't. They need to get Rocky Balboa. They need to get Rocky Balboa.
Rocky Balboa. That's the answer.
That's the answer. He's a winner. He's a winner.
All right. Fig, your question is Chet Holmgren the new wave of the NBA player? Because Marcus Cousins thinks that Chet Holmgren is a new wave. Marcus Cousins in an interview said that people don't back down. He don't care about how skinny this kid is because NBA don't care about that. You don't back down players to play in the post no more. Because now the new wave player plays outside the lines. That's what Boogie believes, and people are criticizing him. Do you believe the NBA has changed now to that kind of player? I can't hear you, Fig.
Man, my bad. Absolutely. It is leaning towards more of the European type of basketball as far as like free flowing and the 3-point shots and stuff like that. Yeah, Chet Holmgren, he still has to put on some weight, but he's a 3-point shooter, and DeMarcus Cousins is absolutely right. The day of throwing the ball in the post to a center and let him back you down, turn, and take the ball to the hole it might be in our rearview mirror. And guess what? Here's another part to that. What would we do with players like Shaquille O'Neal in today's NBA? Because he didn't shoot threes. He was a dominant force in the paint, but Shaquille O'Neal never shot any 3-pointers. I mean, not on a consistent basis. Maybe at the with the clock running down and he just happened to have the ball in his hand. But what do we do with the Shaqs?
Yeah, but the new Shaqs of today, they all can shoot now. So you know what I mean? It's not like you get a big club player who can't shoot.
I'm talking about Shaq specifically.
No, I get what you're saying. I don't even think he'd probably make it to the NBA if you can't shoot now. You know what I mean? That's the crazy about it. All right, last round of the NBA.
Russell Westbrook made it.
break. We ain't gonna talk about break. All right, last thing is I'm gonna go throw this out there. Okay, here we go. Mike Sean, name your Mount Rushmore 4 players in the NBA who are playing right now. Not all time. Name your Mount Rushmore players who are playing right now.
Damn. Giannis. I'm still gonna put LeBron, Steph Curry. Damn.
One more. We got one more.
Steph Curry and I'll say John Morant.
Okay.
And I know people can argue that one but that's the one I think his potential is gonna put him on here for his career around his peers. I think he's gonna win the MVP next year.
Okay. All right. Rodney Perry, give me your Mount Rushmore 4 players who are active right now.
Damn.
Giannis, of course, Steph Curry, KD, and the great LeBron James.
Damn, I ain't say KD. My bad.
That's why everybody looked at you.
No, I still take John Morant. I still put John Morant on there, but it should have been KD.
Give me your 4.
It should have been KD.
Give me your 4 players right now.
You know what? You start with LeBron James. He's still playing at a high level. You got to put Giannis Antetokounmpo. Steph Curry is just next level. And here's where the problem is. What do we do with with Joel Embiid? Because he's a monster.
He stay where he is. He off the list.
That's funny. I mean,
we didn't even name the MVP.
I got LeBron, I got Giannis, I got Curry, and it's a toss-up between Kevin Durant and Joel Embiid for me.
Big, you got narrowed down because the guy's chipping in. She's chipping in the stone.
Kevin Durant. I'll take Kevin Durant over Joel Embiid.
Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus.
But you know how crazy it is. We didn't even name the MVP of the league.
That's a sham. The MVP is a sham.
Dude said, and here's the problem. What do we do with Joel Embiid?
Keep him off the list.
You leave his ass right where he is.
Off the list.
I'm going with Rodney's list verbatim. That's the high score right there. That's about Rushmore. But here's the problem. It's only a problem to
Now, a better question is who's not on the list? Who's definitely, unequivocally not on the list?
All right, let's ask that. Who should be? Rodney Perry, you go first. Who should be on? Since you have the better question, who should be on the Mount Rushmore? Who didn't make that? Who ain't gonna crack the top 4?
Who shouldn't be on the Mount? Who shouldn't be have no hopes of ever get on the Mount Rushmore?
Yeah, he's talking about the bottom.
Rodney, do the top 4 people who will never touch the
top 4 people that are never ever. Right. Boogie Cousins. Who's asking Boogie Cousins the question? All right.
Go ahead,
no. I'm gonna say we talked about him a little bit today. The point guard out there in Atlanta. What's that kid's name?
Trey.
Trey. He always look confused. He don't know where yet. He is never gonna be on a Mount Rushmore.
Okay, that's one.
You got the 2 guys out in Boston. What's that third dude name? Marcus Smart. He will never be on a Mount Rushmore.
Okay, that's 2.
All right. 2 more. All right. Somebody asked about the MVP. The guy does his thing. He is an MVP. He will make it in the Hall of Fame, but he will never be on a Mount Rushmore.
Okay, that's 3. Okay.
What's his name?
The Joker.
And finally, Brittany Griner smoking all that weed on the road. Brittany, you were so close. Narcotic got you out of there.
Give me your oh so close, but never gonna make it Mount Rushmore 4.
Well, first of all, Duncan Robinson ain't ever making it. All right, Duncan Robinson just rip his jersey, burn it, do what you got to do, get it out the way. Number 2, he's gonna be mad because he ain't make it. He's gonna talk about all of us. Patrick Beverly could kiss my ass. He can kiss my ass. And until he shaved, James Harden ain't gonna make that money.
Yeah,
he got shaved.
Wow. That's 3.
And the last one that we gotta keep off, because as soon as he find out he ain't make it, he gonna shoot a jump shot from behind the arc, and it's gonna hit where they chiseling and break the damn mountain down anyway. Is Russell Brickbrook.
All right, okay, that's his 4. Fig, give me your not gonna make it top 4, even though they're good players.
I don't remember her name, but whoever that chick is that played for the Gamecocks that wasn't invited to the SB,
Aaliyah Boston.
She ain't never gonna break the top 4.
That's terrible.
That's a fact.
That's terrible.
You got to throw Kyrie Irving on there, aka Hot Shoe.
I gotta go with Russell Westbrook, because Lord knows he ain't got a snowball chance in hell of making nothing.
That's 2.
That's 2. All right, number 3, Kyrie Irving. He ain't never gonna make it because Kyrie Irving don't even play, so he know damn well he ain't gonna make the top 4.
One more.
And last but not least, who else ain't gonna make it? Paul PG-13.
He gonna be mad at you.
Paul George ain't never he ain't never gonna crack the top 4. He ain't even.
I got one for you, Fig.
On his own team.
I got one for you, Fig. The Knicks, all of them.
I was gonna say 4 out of the 5 Knicks starters. Name whichever one you want. 4 out of the 5 ain't never making it on the side on that Rushmore mountain.
And you know what? For you and Rodney, just because we hate y'all and y'all extra fans, LeBron's son. None of
Never.
His sons and his daughters.
LeBron's son will make it before Michael Jordan's son. No, I bet that.
Oh my God.
LeBron's son will make it before Michael Jordan's son. Michael Jordan's son, I just saw him at Dunkin' Donuts a few minutes ago.
Hey, guess who really ain't gonna make it? Dwayne Wade's son is never.
It depends on what you mean by making it. It depends on what you mean by making it.
Oh God.
He ain't gonna make the WNBA top 4 neither.
Hey, why you bullshitting though?
I knew he's gonna say it. Leave him alone.
Magic Son in a pair of heels is unstoppable.
Unless Magic Son is singing a Lizzo song at karaoke, he is never gonna make it.
No, EJ, y'all leave EJ alone. Magic Son is posting up somebody as we speak down in the West.
Yeah! Pause.
He posting up at Westport Street right there. Y'all should be ashamed of yourselves, man. These people ain't do nothing to us.
EJ posts you up and you be like, where your pants at?
Yo, EJ will post you up. EJ will post you up, and you got to take a pregnancy test afterwards.
Hey, he walk off the court, Mike. He'd be like, Roe v. Wade.
You got to cut all this out the show.
He hit you with the Roe v. Wade. You know what it is? I'm having it.
You pro-life or pro-choice? What are you?
Both.
Make me not have it. Oh man! First of all, I want to apologize to all those families. I used to say that about rappers when they rap it, they just throw somebody in they rap. They mind their business. They somewhere in the world mind their business. Smack the hell out of you like Will Smith did Chris Rock. Chris Rock didn't do nothing to this rap, but he threw him in there. That's what we just did on this show. I apologize.
We apologize. Look, I gotta go, y'all, but y'all will never understand how much I needed these laughs from y'all. So have a good one, y'all.
All right, baby. Peace, brother.
Peace, Mike, Sean.
All right, peace.
All right, we're gonna keep it going. And my man T, since you got all the jokes, right? We're gonna close out the show. All right, so Leonard Fournette showed up at training camp, 260 pounds, and Fig touched on it yesterday, but he was so overweight. The Bucs coaches aren't happy, and reports came out this morning because obviously training camp is coming out and everything else. There've been some people talking about they might want to cut him because he's so overweight. How do you think the Bucs should handle that right there? Because he's supposed to be their starting running back right now. What do you think?
Well, here's the thing. This guy's a professional. I give him the benefit of that. He's gonna get it right when it's time. By the time it's time to get it right, but I'm just laughing at. Can you imagine everybody's face when he showed up? Like 260. I don't care if he had the uniform on or not. You see 260. So everybody probably got clipboards. Ain't talking to it. Hey man, you know what a Gatorade is? So somebody ain't gonna be here long. 260 as a runner. Listen, if your name don't end with Riggins, Bettis, if you ain't got no name like that, where you a truck and you known to just run people, he's not that kind of back, bro. So I'm hoping his professional side, because like I said, I like to give these guys benefit of doubt. You know, he knows where he needs to be. I don't know what his last check-in number was, but hopefully he got time to get to that slowly but surely. And by the time, week 1 or week 2 in the season, he's back to fit shape where he can make a difference out there. Because, I could see him getting cut if he don't.
Yeah, I can see that too. Rodney Perry, word is that former quarterbacks, some people saying that right now that Sam Darnold has already lost to Baker Mayfield in training camp, and training camp's only 2 days old. That's what people are saying that right now. So it's looking ugly in Carolina and everything else like that because, people are saying that right now. What's your thoughts on Sam Darnold already losing to Baker Mayfield and we ain't even a weekend training camp?
I mean, Baker Mayfield has been the butt of a lot of jokes, man. For what happened out there and with the Browns, but he's better. He's a better QB than Sam Darnold, and it's showing immediately. And I think they're running a similar system. He'd have to learn a system, and so it made a vacuum where he could shine in it, and he's shining already. And how about this? If you're a professional quarterback, you got to be a leader of men, and that in itself can keep you out in front. So well done, Baker Mayfield. But it's a matter of time before he mess it up.
Yeah, it's a little bit of time. Speaking of QBs, Fig, people are saying that Trey Lance is ready for it, quote unquote, by Fred Warner, former Pro Football Hall of Famer. He's saying that Trey Lance is ready. He's the real deal. He's ready to step in right now. You believe Trey Lance is ready to step in right now and do what he's supposed to do? What's your thoughts on Trey Lance?
He possibly can. I mean, look, unless they change the system on him, I think he'd be ready because he's been this is like his like third year or so, right? He's been here for a minute. It usually takes that long for rookie players to acclimate themselves to the NFL, especially as the QB position. It takes a little while for you to grasp the speed of the game as an NFL quarterback. So yeah, he's been here long enough to be ready. And back to Tyler's point where he said they probably cut Leonard Fournette. If they do, gravy gonna come out.
Wow.
Roger Perry, let me ask you this, bro. Do you think Jimmy G is going to land in Seattle? Because Seattle wanted him to trade for him. They wanted to make some trades for him. Obviously, the trades didn't work. Now everybody's waiting for him to get cut. But experts are picking that Jimmy G might land in Seattle. You see that as a good fit?
Man, Jimmy G is the perfect he's the perfect example of if you look good, you can get another job. You know, if he was an ugly quarterback, it wouldn't nobody be trying to get hire this dude again. He's a handsome guy. It's really weird, man. How this dude keep a damn job. He's injured. All the stuff we say about guys, and he has every problem, yet we're considering giving him another job. Yes, he's going to end up in Seattle. He's going to end up there, and he's going to make a lot of money because he's a great-looking guy. Ain't that right, Steve?
Yeah, I see that.
Ain't that right, man?
I see that too.
And he gonna bring a couple of milkshakes to the yard too.
Yeah. Town, do you think Cam Newton is done? Do you think he should officially retire? Because nobody's inquired about him for his services, and his training camps have started.
Well, I think that Cam is all mental problems. I don't think that he's physically done. I think he physically can still play the game, but I think that Cam's in a mental place that seems, judging by the last 2 seasons at least, that it's difficult for him to get out of that place. He can physically, he got the cardio, the stamina, the muscles, and all that, the stature. Problem is, he's in a mental place where we've seen Cam weird out. We've seen him slowly weird out, which brings me to the question, the same way we talk about Russell Westbrook in the NBA, we've seen these dudes weird out the same exact way with fashion, with this exotic left field fashion, and slowly their games deteriorate. So I think that Cam, if he get in a mental place, he can still compete with these guys at least 1 to 2 more seasons, but I don't think he can get them.
Go ahead, Rodney. You want to jump in there?
Yeah, man. You know what, man? I hear what you're saying, Tyler, man. But Cam don't get a chance, man. He coming on to an organization. He came in mid-season last year. He won a game, then he didn't win no more. He hasn't had an opportunity, I don't think, to really shine. And even if he get picked up this season, it'll be as a backup. He'll come in there, he'll look good for 1 or 2 weeks, and then he'll look crazy again. He hasn't had a team to be his team since he went to since he was great as a young man.
So do you think that since you got it, do you think that he should get picked up by somebody like the Pittsburgh Steelers and be the backup and sit behind it? Because that whole system is about running the ball. You know what Pittsburgh is.
And he would be great in that system, man. And how about this? The black coach and understanding he could really get into a Roethlisberger shoes, being his size. That might be a great situation for him.
Yeah, I think so too. That might obviously be that. All right, so where am I at? Let's see, Fig. All right, Fig, I need you to pick out for me, besides the Bills and besides the Chiefs, which team in the AFC do you think is going to be a surprise team that could do some damage and literally makes a run at the AFC Championship game, besides the Bills and besides the Chiefs? Everybody got them.
It's kind of difficult to I mean, with all the problems that they have in Tom Brady.
The Patriots?
No, not the Patriots. You know what? They did pretty good. What's her name? Mac Jones?
Yeah.
He might come along this year, man, because ain't this his 3rd year, Frank? This Mac Jones' 3rd year, right?
Second. This will be his 2nd year.
Second year, but Mac Jones really, I mean, for his first year, he really looked good. People talking a lot about, there's a lot of, rumors and stuff around Bill Belichick and, the offense and stuff like that, man. Mac Jones, I mean, I know we clown the Patriots a lot, man, but Mac Jones, as a rookie, he really surprised me last year. He looked really good. And I was hoping that Cam would get another shot, but Mac Jones might step up and do something this year because the Patriots never do anything super exotic. Mm-hmm. They do real fundamental stuff, and they don't ask a player to do more than he can do. Oh, what's their motto? Do your job. The Patriots might show up and do a little, so they might shock some people this year.
Yeah, Mac Jones went to the All-Star game as a rookie. T, let me ask you this. T, is he stuck? Oh, okay, he's there. I thought your screen was stuck. Name a team besides the Rams and the Bucks who will surprise you out of the NFC, who can come out, and obviously, I don't want to say besides Green Bay also, but, those are usual suspects. What team do you think is surprise you in the NFC?
Well, I think it's going to be one of them lanes out of that division we talked about yesterday. The NFC East. I think one of them lanes is going to shock us because it can't go 2 years like the way it just did. So I think that you're going to have a uprising of, unfortunately, America's team, Dallas, or the Giants may shock you and get one extra win to push the envelope. But one of them teams out of that NFC East will shock you and go a little further than we expect them to go, because that division is probably, I think, argumentatively, is the worst division we got.
All right, so that's the show. So before we wrap up in here, Rodney, I know you got a couple of things you wanted to throw out there that you got going on this weekend. Please inform us.
Absolutely, Frank. Thank you for the floor. And I'm gonna jump in here and I'm gonna just leave us with this. We're talking about the AFC, man, and you gotta when you're talking about the Asian Football Coalition, you gotta be willing to shout out New Zealand and also the who else they had? New Zealand, that's top playing Asian FIFA Cup. I mean, these guys out there playing a lot of good football, Frank. And you gotta respect that. So I'm on their site now. Shouts out to the AFC, and they also have the Women's Cup as well. And so the
women always got cups.
Women, yeah, they do. They always got cups. They always got cups.
They got A, B, and C, and D cup. But no, this weekend at Virginia Funny Bone, I'll be in the building, man, all weekend. I get there Friday, 2 shows Friday, 2 shows Saturday, and I get up out of there, man. If you're in the area, please come through.
Talent. Where at, Rodney?
Virginia.
Virginia.
Yeah.
Yes, man. Sounds like a plan, brother. Myself this weekend, I'm in New Bern, North Carolina this weekend. Friday and Saturday, New Bern, North Carolina. Come check a brother out. And the New York Kings will be hitting up Orlando, Florida, the first weekend of August. So get your tickets. Hit my Instagram, Talent the Comedian. Boom.
Yeah, we're gonna do that. Fig, talk to me.
Man, listen, man. I've been doing a lot of private things. I got something coming up here in Springfield, Mass. A 60th birthday party, man, that I'm doing, man. It's supposed to be sneakers and tees for a 60th birthday party that I'm doing on Thursday, man. That's gonna be a lot of fun, man.
Yeah. You heard the first name they had it for it.
You said what?
The first name they had. They were gonna call it Bunions and Button Down. But they changed it. Sneakers and tees.
They was gonna call it canes and wheelchairs.
That was one of the early ones, yeah.
All right, y'all, we out. The show's called Box Seats. I'm replaying this show today on Facebook at 7 o'clock. You can catch the repeat on Humor Mill channel. It's downloadable on the app. That's Fig, that's Rodney Perry, that's Talent. We'll be back tomorrow with more comedy as usual. Thank you all for the very funny show. Thank you all for watching. You guys are hilarious today, man. That was especially
yesterday we wasn't shit. Yesterday we was horrible.
Yeah, I'm leaving on that note.